You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday. Tuesday. You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday.
You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Welcome everybody to Truth Tuesday. This is a big episode because man, we're talking about something extremely powerful, and I've got powerful men in today. Today we got three people in the booth, in the studio, so whatever it is. Today we're at Loop College, and this is where we're doing the podcast from. And I'm with the man, ever so swaggerous, Mr. Ty2. Sir, you've always had swag. Like always.
I don't even pay attention to that.
That's what swag is. Like, as in, like, from I think the first time I met you was, what's weird is the first time I met both of you. Oh, actually, you guys are somewhat meeting for the first time. So maybe let me also introduce Gabby GP. Gabby GP, welcome to Truth Tuesday. Gabby GP has been my friend for a long time. So I actually met both of you in person at Movie TV when we're doing Sizzle. I think you don't remember that.
I remember.
I do. That's how you remember.
I remember
Okay,
that.
cool.
Wow.
That's cool. I'm glad you remember because I was a nobody then. But I still am. No. So anyway, I always tell the story of how I met Gabby GP, and we had a segment on Sizzle which was called the Sizzling Spits. So we were rapping, and Gabby GP was one of the contenders. I was the host of the show. So Gabby came, and I was told to battle Gabby because there was no other person there. So as we are rapping, so obviously I went in with, hey, I'm gonna kill you, shiny, what. And then Gabby rapped back to me gospel rap. Like he was like basically battling me, but with the Bible. So for me, that was I think that was the first practical way I saw gospel rap being used to actually evangelize. Because my background of knowing gospel music has always been like, gospel music is the music that you sing in church. You know what I mean? Like, and it's for the Christians. Gospel music is music for the Christians. But then I think for me, that was a moment of like, oh, wait, you can actually use this music to talk to someone who doesn't know about Christ. And I thought that was impactful. Obviously, many other things happened, and now I'm a gospel rapper. But that was the first time I met him. First time I met you. Obviously, we had seen you on TV, Smile, Shiny.
Yeah.
And, you were doing it big. The entire David Sling was crazy. And then you come in, because our show was new, right? The Sizzle. And at the time, the only other talk shows were Smooth Talk and whatever. And we were just starting up. So you big artists actually never used to like bother with responding to us. You're just like, yeah. So when you came, I was like, yeah, back. It was chaotic because I remember at the time the late Boogie C and Cook C are like, I don't. So I don't even know if I managed to squeeze an interview with you that day. But anyways, I remember just being very excited about that moment. So do you remember?
I think we had
you sang
a conversation.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
I think we did.
Because I think we the song you sang was Sunshine, You're My Sunshine. It was Hamover. So you came with Hamover, actually. Yes. So you don't remember. It's cool.
I'm trying to open that. I'm trying to open that folder.
Well, anyways, yeah, but it's so good to have you both. How have you guys been? How have you been, Ty2?
I've been good.
Awesome.
I've been good.
Awesome.
Mostly working on new music. And,
Yes.
yeah, videos and all of it. So,
Yes, and you're killing it. I mean, I just saw the two of the videos now, and I'm like, hey, okay, let me tell you guys this. So I hate listening to music. That's the truth. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, I feel like I'm working. So whenever I hear a song, I'm starting to how do I bang the snare? So like, I just don't like it. So I would rather There are a few songs I'm listening to now, obviously when I'm taking a walk or whatever. But so I always hear everything from. Actually, I hear a lot of music from Solomon Plate, who's just somewhere around here. I don't think he should be here in the topic we're about to get into. But that's so yeah. So so he's the one who will play me a new song. The other time, one of the producers, the mystery, and anyway, that's how it's been. Okay, so I'm talking this much because I really don't want to get in this topic because it's very deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. So so the topic is, I guess, just divorce, man. Like it's such a unspoken of topic, I feel. But it's such a big it has caused such a big impact around the world, and I am so appreciative of you two gentlemen coming. Ty2, obviously, first time I heard you talk about it was on a Z podcast, right? And I was like, oh snap, if he can talk about it, so can I. And I can't even believe I've been divorced before. I can't believe I'm saying those words. But anyways, so that, and then of course, Gabby, you've even written a book about about marriage,
Love relationship.
love relationships. Oh snap! Well, that anyway, which I guess it cuts across. Okay, cool. So I mean, and I haven't finished reading. I bought a copy, but I haven't.
No.
Can me reading? Yeah,
Shame on you.
reading. Do an audio version. If you do an audio version, I will hear it. No, but yeah. So but I mean, and also just the conversations I've had with you have been so impactful in my life. I mean, with everything I've gone through, like you really taught me so much, like with just being in a relationship and all that different stuff. So yeah, so I mean, today is we're obviously going into the heavy topic of divorce, and to be honest, I don't even know how to start these questions. I'm just gonna start with you, Dave. Maybe what can you tell us about divorce? I mean, you've been through it. What's there to say?
Why are you gonna do that?
Put him on the spot.
Because I mean,
I was thinking he's gonna start the whole thing, and I'm listening here waiting. Then tell us.
Hey, but I tell you that, like I mean, and the thing is, I talk a lot in life, but I mean, for me to, okay, because the thing is, like, I've mentioned this before. Like, people look at us who've been divorced before, like, as if we just made this decision, just woke up and said, what, I'm tired of this thing. Like, there was a lot of, I mean, I was even explaining. I explain this all the time and say, for me, that is the most painful experience I've ever felt in my life. Like, there's been a lot of pain I've had in, but for me, it was so painful. And it wasn't painful because like she did something wrong to me, or like and you see, because even with our divorce, like I've mentioned, it had nothing to do with like infidelity, or it wasn't that deep. It wasn't like a big thing that happened that caused like a gender-based violence or whatever, right? It wasn't anything that deep that happened, but it was just a lot of, to be honest, when I look at it on my part, right? And this is what I'm thankful to the public that they didn't make this a sensation and say, oh no, shut this guy go, like, because I mean, a lot of my friends,
Lucky you.
did they did that to you?
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
It still is.
Yeah.
I just had an interview some minutes ago before we did this sitting, and that
Right.
question came up.
Oh,
That
snap.
question came up. So how true is it that you went and blah blah? I'm like, wow, is this ever
Eish.
going to stop?
Yeah.
Because when people are not so aware of anything that goes on in a home, at the end of the day, it's those two people. Yes, obviously, when weddings happen, people will have their pictures, they'll have their moments with you.
Right.
But the rest of it is a journey between the two.
Ah, man.
Just like you met and everything was going on there,
Yeah.
trouble that came up, misunderstandings that came up,
Right.
the happiness, the joys, the two of you know them very well. So
Right,
when they
right.
hear that something went off, obviously they'll start looking for obviously no man
Uh-huh.
obviously we knew this, and
Yes, yes, yes.
all those things come in, and unfortunately some people will try to ride on that and create a funny narrative out there without even taking the time to make you maybe, hey, can we have a conversation if you don't mind, like how is this true? What happened there? Some again, you still choose whether you want to open up and say
Yeah.
a lot of things about it,
Yeah.
or you just say, hey, two grown people and decided to go their separate ways.
Yeah.
No harm done, no murder, no whatever. People just decided, look, I think my interest, your interests are not working together right
Yes,
now.
yes.
And
Yeah.
because we seem to argue a lot more because you want to go that route, I want to go this
this
route.
way, yeah.
So maybe it'll be more peaceful if we just, step back and see how it goes.
Right.
If we're gonna get back, let's get back. If we don't, it's all good. If
Yeah.
there's children there, like we have our kids, let's be there for our children because
Yes, yes.
it is trauma for the
Yes,
children.
yes.
Remember
Ah,
that.
man. Yeah.
Because I'm actually coming from a setup where my parents divorced. I think I
Ah,
was
man.
about 5, 6.
Yeah, yeah.
And to have that happen was very crazy for me because I always said I never want to have my children experience what I had gone through.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
to be the one who's doing that was something that was very difficult
Yes.
to digest at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
there's nothing you can really do if
Right.
things have gone that way.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
The only thing you can try to do is, okay, I went through certain experiences. I learned this. I didn't have this. I had that. Now you just want to make sure your children do not get to suffer those things that you suffer because you want to
Man.
make it better. You need to create that cushion now to say, okay, this has happened.
Yeah.
How do I cushion them? How do I protect them?
Right,
Sometimes it'll work because you're still scarred. Remember,
Right.
some of those scars will still affect you even when you're older. But you're still trying to balance those and trying to think, how can I save my kids from not experiencing that, not
Yeah.
feeling a certain way?
Yeah.
But fact is, it'll be different because they're not in the same home with you.
Yeah.
They still have to move from left to right. Sometimes parents are in different countries, different continents, and now you're thinking, how would we do this? Technology, video calls,
Yes.
are still different. They can't feel your hug. So, but people
Sheesh.
always want to look for the negative, and instead of thinking of who else is attached to this, who will be affected by what we say.
Right.
People don't care these days. They just want to throw arrows, and they don't care if they injure the person that's involved. And for some people, have killed themselves.
Sheesh.
Some people have not gotten back on their feet to say, "Let me try again." When you hear somebody say, I like saying this this word, this sentence rather, love is a beautiful thing. And I'll get messages from people saying, no, not from my experience.
Yeah,
Never again. Not from this.
Yes,
I've been
yes.
singing at a lot of engagement parties, a lot of weddings, and I talk to most of the couples that I perform for. And, I'm like, you've made this decision.
Right.
Try by all means to work out whatever it is that's going on.
Man.
Speak to him. He was there when you were created. That's the only one that was there
Yeah.
when it was just the two of you.
Yeah.
So whatever situation that you face, give it to him. If you don't understand what's going on and you don't maybe understand the message he's giving you or how to get out of the situation, find somebody that's mature, that is grown, that understands a lot of these things, and be open. Don't hide. The moment you hide, that little skeleton will pop out and you won't know how to do it.
Right.
So I'm saying this because there are things that I can say about me. And I'm like, okay, maybe I would have done that differently. Maybe I would have reacted a certain way. Maybe I would have acted a certain way. But things happened. And what we do now is to grow. And
Ah, man.
I'm happy that you brought about this subject. So we talk
Right.
about it. And
Talk
it's
about it.
unfortunate for one who would think, oh, is it like recovered
Recover-
alcoholic guy?
No.
I've been divorced for. No,
Yes,
that's not the purpose of this.
Yeah.
I believe this is just a conversation so that somebody out there who's facing this challenge and feels so heartbroken or lost,
Right.
or thinking, I shouldn't live anymore. I can't live without my partner.
Right.
I can't live without this. No, there's still life.
There is. There is, yeah.
Obviously, there's different situations that will happen or what leads to people going apart.
Right.
But there's still life. Don't give
Very
up.
true. Very true.
Speak to somebody. Whatever it is that's eating you up, that you feel tortured over, speak to somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man. It's such a powerful man, you're bringing it out like this. I think it's such a closed conversation. And that's why I think it's important that we talk about it like this, because now you have to remember that there's 32,000 people who got divorced
Yeah.
last year.
That's crazy.
32,000. The time I was getting divorced, there was 28,000 people. So between now and then, there's over 200,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a country. You know what I mean? That's a community. That's a massive community.
epidemic.
So you can't say no. We shouldn't have conversations about it when there's so many people going through it. And these divorces we're talking about are the legal ones, the ones that
Exactly.
are going to civic center.
Yeah.
But there are many
There's still
people
some
who
more,
just been
yeah.
on separation for 20 years and they just said,
Yeah.
that's the way it is. So now it's a topic that must be discussed. And I did my best to keep it away from the public as well. Even though I got divorced, I had to go out of town to get it done. It was a whole thing of like, the lawyers were like, hey, look, you need to protect your name and whatever and do all that different stuff. But then I realized that, hey, the thing is, this is a harm, right? And I would be doing an injustice, especially as someone who sings for God, or
Yeah.
someone who's a gospel artist, someone who wants to be a blessing to people, for me not to share that part of my story. So, Mr. Gabby, just from, I guess, what are your this conversation is going to be very. We are just going as the spirit leads.
And
So I don't.
before he steps in, you mentioned something about keeping it away from
The
the
public,
public.
right.
On my end, what happened was we were actually apart for some years.
Right.
People only got to know that I was not with the person that seen on an image some years back when they saw pictures of.
Oh, your current wife. Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Wasn't he married already?
Hey.
Wasn't he this?
Mama
And then now
Kumbuka.
everything just went out there and people came up with stories and
Sheesh.
a whole lot of talk.
Right.
I saw one funny article. Yeah, he abandoned the wife.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. And I was just, I actually blasted off a few friends. Like, if you're truly my friend, you defend me when you see certain things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't send me links.
Yeah.
I don't want to read that. I don't want to read that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know or have some little knowledge as to what actually transpired or whatever
Yeah.
went on, but don't share these things with all that negative stuff, because remember,
Right.
I'm moving away from all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with the person that I shared life with, almost we were together for like 9 years.
Sheesh.
So
Yeah.
we are friends.
Right.
We
yeah.
talk.
Yes.
And there's concerns, your children this and this and this and this. So we have that friendship. We talk
Yes.
about the next moves that we need to. But then you find this person who wants to take you back to that cage.
Yes.
You're like, I'm past that cage.
Man.
She's past that cage. We are all good.
Yeah.
She's moved on with life. I moved on with life.
Right.
So stop taking us back
Yes.
to what injured us.
Man.
We're in a good space.
With what you said, and that was the thing, because even before having this conversation, I had to call my ex and say, hey, look, I'm gonna start talking about this thing. And her initial reaction was like, hey, you're taking us, like you've said, taking us back to that cage. Now you're going to sort of open Pandora's box, so if you will, and like and I guess even to anyone watching this, like we are human beings, right? And we do feel stuff. So I appreciate, I think so far, I know, like you said, it went out of hand on your end.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of my friends who are in the media know about this. They've asked me, and I've told them, hey, look, this is what's going on, but please don't, publicize it or
don't
anything
put it out there.
And they've thank goodness they've allowed me to be the one who shares the story.
Yeah.
I've been divorced for about 5 years now, and to me, it's like, okay, fine. I feel like I need to share this story. And as painful as it is.
Let me snitch
and
on my wife. I told her yesterday, Mark 44 called me. He's running this program and he
Yes.
asked me to go on there. He's gone through a divorce. What? When?
Are you see- Oh, snap.
No clue.
Are you
So
serious?
what you're saying is actually true. Like,
Yeah.
people didn't really know anything about it.
Yes. It is. And it's and I think, like, we just need to talk about, if with life, right? You have to talk about the good times. You have to talk about the bad times.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that people connect with both. People are going through good times and bad times.
That's true.
So Mr. Gabby, please,
Yeah,
before, because me
before
and
you
I
even
do,
ask
we
questions.
just have a lot of things to say. My God.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. Please do go ahead.
I've got a few questions for you guys, but I want to say
okay.
some things based on what you've shared. I think that one of the things that we have to settle and be at peace with is that this can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
And I think that sometimes, when you are in a marriage or when you hear about certain things that are going on in a marriage, it's very easy to think that, it's they messed up.
Right.
We're good over here, we've got it together kind of thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, it just shows, like you say, that we're human beings.
Right.
We're human beings. We are fallen creatures, and as fallen creatures, anything is bound to happen.
Yeah.
Like the Apostle Paul said, "I am what I am by the grace of God." It's not because I've been able to navigate life better than others, because I've been smarter than others. You know what I mean? So, but for me, from what you're sharing, a couple of things jump out. Number one, the fact that when you're in the public space,
Right.
I think that this experience is quite different from someone who's in the background.
Ah, man. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because it kind of like compounds the whole thing to like 10 times worse than it would be if your name is not out there. So I can only imagine. And my question for the both of you, especially Ty2 would be around like, how do you handle your mental health?
Wow.
When you are having to deal with all this pressure, especially for someone like you who navigated that space quite well, and then all of a sudden it's like a can of worms has been opened, and you have to like relive the past.
Yeah.
I will say this. The bittersweet part for me was that when the whole thing happened, it wasn't out there. I had all that time I will use the words to get crazy because I'm in a space where I'm thinking, I don't care. Whatever happens to me happens. I don't care. This is where you even have your little people, but then in that moment, you can't deal with, just that thought of not being in a space that you're used to. And I actually left because when the whole thing happened, I was in South Africa then.
Oh, yeah, I
That's where
remember
we lived,
that. Yeah.
So at some point, I even left. I was working for Vodacom.
Vodacom.
Vodafone is the UK. Vodacom is SA.
SA, yes.
So I went for Vodafone in the UK and Vodacom in South Africa.
Oh, snap. You went for both of them. Oh,
Yes.
damn. You've been around, boss. Yo.
Vodacom SA.
Right.
At some point, I was like, I was telling my boss then, like, I need to travel home. I think it was easier for my ex-wife then because she had sisters in SA. So she already had like a family vibe going on.
Oh, right. So
and I'm like, there's nobody here that
you can,
she's safe. I'm
Sheesh.
like, who am I going to talk to besides the friends that I met there? And I'm not going to hide because these things happen. I started a lifestyle where straight from work, I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
Straight from work, I'm at a strip club.
Right. Yeah.
It became a pattern. Like there was so much alcohol going on. There was so much craziness going on. Imagine you step into a club and you have a table.
They know you.
They know you have a table. You leave work and somebody picks you up. They even know where you want to go. And that was like the cycle. And like, you know what? If I'm not careful, I'm gonna die.
Man.
And I have children. And in any case, even if we're not like that,
Right.
the fact is she will still need me.
Right.
Even if we're not like that anymore. But at some point, she needs to handle them.
Right.
And I need to be there for her to cope with any mischief they'll come up with because they still have to be teenagers at some point.
Yeah.
So I started thinking, what do I do? Because this won't be cool. And I just say, no, I need to make a trip. And that's how I left South Africa and never went back.
Wow.
Never went back.
Jeez.
So they started calling me, when are you back? When are you? I was like, I don't think I'm coming back.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
And I was back, mom's house. And it was quite disturbing for her because it was that type of vibe where she couldn't ask me questions, even though she knew there was trouble that happened and we were not together. She was just watching me and asking a cousin of mine, check on him. Is he okay?
Yeah.
And the pattern kind of continued even here because there was so much booze going on. Even here. A lot of drink.
Yes,
Crazy.
yes,
I mean, I started looking like this kid because I lost so much weight. I didn't even see it myself. But because I was drinking more than I was feeding. You know? So it was that space that I dealt with a lot of demons.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of crazy ideas. By the time all of that stopped, because then hanging around people, having conversations with people, and just watching,
Yeah.
I thank God because I was able to listen to certain conversations. And then I just decided, so, you know what? I need to be more positive and I need to snap and get out of this situation. Bit by bit, started building.
Wow.
Started building, met
Yeah.
people. Next thing, you are reminded of church, you're reminded of a lot of things going on, you know? Years down the line, I'm like, hey, I'm chubby again. I'm good. I'm good.
Wow,
And we're in a
wow.
good space. We start talking now, making plans. Okay, what's going to happen with this? What will happen with that? And everything is being settled. You know, you meet somebody and you're having conversations and everything is all perfect.
Yeah.
But then by the time the pictures go out of the second wedding, they're throwing arrows at you. You're already in that space. You're like, I cried already.
Yes, yeah.
That can't
I
do
already
anything to
felt-
me, so I can
right.
ignore you. You can say whatever you want to say, throw whatever jabs. I will not respond
Yeah.
because I have a family that I'm building,
Right.
but there's still a family attached to me.
Right.
Fact is, there's children that are growing, there's everything happening. So whatever you say to me, I'm bulletproof, I'm arrow proof. You know, I'm funny word proof.
Yeah.
You can't take me back to that
To that
position.
world,
So even
yeah.
when people ask me funny questions, I even know, oh, you're trying to get there. I just start laughing and say, nah, you're too
Yeah.
young.
Yes,
I'm,
yes.
I'm past that.
Yeah.
You know?
Man.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful thing when you're healed, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like for me, I had to do therapy for like, I don't know, 6 months or something. Because, you know, it was just something that, especially with, you know, this is another layer that we don't talk about. The church
Yeah.
doesn't because of course the Bible says God hates divorce, right? So now the church hasn't quite found a way to deal with it. I think there's a good I mean, like, I know Miracle Life has a nice program which I actually wanted to go to, which, you know, deals with if you're going through a divorce, like, or if you are divorced, and you know, they sort of provide some sort of counseling, and it's like a group class, you know, which helps in that sense. But the church is only now starting to say, okay, fine, this is the situation,
Reality.
and now how do we sort it out? You know, yeah. So it was a difficult experience, of course, like dealing with like with the question you asked as well. I had to do therapy. I had to have conversations with you. I had to have conversations with pastors. I had to also take, I think the biggest thing I had to do was, you know, I know also I did do a bit of some playing around, a bit of some playing around here and there, you know. But we won't get into that. That's not what this podcast is.
No.
Hallelujah.
Say something
The journey.
about the combination
Yeah.
of therapy and your faith, because I think that's a space that a lot of believers are still struggling with. First and
Yes.
foremost, you're right that there's a lot of stigma around divorce.
Divorce, yes.
And so generally the church, you know, wants to keep it hush hush.
Right.
Like, it's very difficult to even like have a program, you know.
Yeah.
Kudos to the church like Miracle Life that actually
Yeah.
has one, you know. what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
But
yeah.
there are very few churches that would have like an actual program that addresses that. Most of that would like be in the background.
Yes, yes.
But I would like you to say something a bit about combining your therapy and
Your faith.
addressing your faith, because sometimes people think those things are mutually exclusive. Like, as
Yeah.
a believer, you can't like go down that direction, because, you know, especially us Pentecostals, we tend
Yes,
to over
yes.
spiritualize things. Like,
Yes. And therapy is also stigmatized, because it's like, no, what's that? Like, it's not the word of God. So I mean, you see, anything of itself can be, you know, it can be used for evil. I mean, even the word of God can be used. I mean, if the devil can use the word of God to tempt Jesus, then you know it can be used to manipulate, right? For me, what my challenge was, so you know, I'm going through, it's happening. We are getting divorced, we're on separation, and you know, at the time, Pompey and I are about to drop the Bwana album, and then I'm just like, what is going on here? Like I'm, as in like, in fact, Pompey was someone like, if it wasn't for, because Pompey would be like, oh, bro, you're going through this. Okay, bro, let's go and record. Like, you know, like it was such a good thing. The Bonner album is so special to my heart because it really helped me through that dark time. But now, like I said, I can't, I'm like, Lord, I'm your child. Why am I going through this? You know, we just reached a point where like the marriage is not, and I can't figure it out, you know, and I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, Lord, I don't understand. So, you know, at that point, I'll be honest, I didn't feel like God had the answers for me because I was just like, Lord, I'm a gospel artist. I pray to you all the time. I've led these many people to Christ. Why aren't you taking care of my marriage? You know, like, why aren't you speaking to her or speaking? I don't know, like create a solution, please. Because, you know, like I'm going through, you know, and I just felt like I don't think God's gonna help me out here. So I was just at a place where, like, you know, I did go through a dark time. Maybe I wasn't as rich as him to have a table every day. My table was much cheaper. Just one or two to one.
Maybe at Congo.
Maybe at Congole, who knows? So, you know, so I was dealing with it. I mean, I was dealing with it the wrong way, right? So I was, you know, and the thing was like, it was heading, you know, like I'm trying to figure it out. Next thing, the pandemic hits. And then I'm just like now extra confused. Now I'm lost my marriage. I don't have, how am I going to make money during this pandemic? No shows, no, you know, so I'm just like, like everything hit, you know, at the same time.
Yeah.
And, you know, a friend of mine told me, hey, look, there's a therapist, maybe you can try. Because now I was not a Christian. And I had every reason not to go to church. One, I don't know if God's there. Two, there's a pandemic. So, so it's fine. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay. So, but then, you know, the thing was like, I was hurting. Like, you know, like I just wanted to just like end life. You know, I was just feeling terrible. So a friend of mine said, look, speak to a therapist, right? I've got a friend of mine who's a therapist. And, you know, I started doing therapy. So I can't discount what therapy does, because I think sometimes you need it to understand what the problem is that's going on, to understand that, oh, okay, this is the problem. Because sometimes you can just feel, you know, like how like you've got a scar and it's hurting here. It will affect everything about you. It's a small part of the body that it hurts, but it will just affect everything. So now the what I feel therapy did for me is it showed me, no, where it's hurting is actually here. It's not, don't go to this, because now the thing is you start hating everything. You have blamed God, you've blamed Shan. Now it's like, oh, no, actually.
took yourself out.
You took, yes. You know what I mean? Yes, it wasn't, yes. It wasn't, you know, and even blaming yourself for sure. Yeah. Now you're like, okay, no, this was the problem. This is the thing that you need. Don't involve anything else. Then it was easier for me to say, okay, you know what, Lord, like it almost gave me a sense of, I can now pray for this one thing, as opposed to just being all over the place. Yeah. So I think that would be I wouldn't say, and I wouldn't say, you know, someone should be totally dependent on therapy.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's, you know, at the end of the day, what really sets us free is the word of God, is God. Like, and there's some problems, some pains that you can't just overcome. Like, you just need God to to heal. You know, it's only God who can heal some of those spaces. And yeah, I think that's my take on that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I have another question. Now,
Please.
now I'm the moderator.
this thing, I'm sure there's going to be a cut because there.
So, I mean, listening to you, the both of you speak about the process you are going through, it resonates with a lot of people that, because like you know, I'm a marriage counselor, and I speak to a lot of couples, both married and unmarried.
Yes, of course.
So it resonates quite strongly with the experiences that a lot of people out there are going through.
Right.
Whether it's a troublesome or troubled marriage, or literally like either on the verge of divorce or completely, you know,
Can't be
separate.
retrieved, right?
Yeah. So now that dark experience of literally you having to, you know, run to booze, you know, and whatever else is out there, is what it's like that's the easiest thing, the closest escape that a lot of people tend to fall back on. So now, speaking in retrospect, for somebody who's in that space, like what would be like your words of advice? Like, there is the booze that's like the closest escape,
Right.
but you know, if you were to redo that aspect of your life, like what other, you know, like what other clutch or fallback option would you give to people? Because obviously there are those who may not be as fortunate as you,
Right,
who
yeah.
may end up boozing themselves to death,
Right,
checking themselves out and whatnot. Like, what can people do better?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a big one.
It's true.
I think looking back, I'll go back to a situation where you gave an example of you have some pain somewhere and then it messes up everything else.
Right.
And you actually overlook that little thing.
Yes.
And you prioritize everything else. So somewhere in an exchange of words, that is ignored. But that's where that little
that's
spark
actually
was.
that's where yes.
So I think before people get to that stage, it will be important to look yourself in the mirror and think, where am I going wrong? What is my friend talking about that I'm not hearing? Or if the other side also will think, what is he saying that I'm not hearing? Where are we? Because when we met, we took our journey, we said whatever it is that we said that was working, and we were all smiley, we were all doing all these things that, all nice. Where did we go off? Obviously, as people get older, a lot of things will change. Our interests and how we see certain things, it's going to be a bit different. And
Right.
I've heard this thing before where you say I do to 6 other people. Because the more you get older, things will change.
Right.
I think I like that yellow bit, and like, nah, I think the lower part is even better than that.
Yes.
So it's like you say yes to that evolving person,
Yes.
and you must also understand how to navigate through the changes. So if you both understand that we are changing, and constant communication, constant conversations about whatever little change that we see or feel has come up in our partner, say, you never used to do that. Do you like this now? Is this new? So you also prepare yourself, look, I must accept this new person, and the same way on the other end. But if you're not, if it's gone to the worst and you didn't really take time to have those conversations, or to be in that level where you're mature enough to start thinking and say, where did we go off, and things have happened. It's important to not be alone to start with. We'll always say, I need time by myself. But time by yourself, you're just venting and just thinking, what will I do to ease that pain?
Right.
Do not be alone. Again, identify the people that you're close to, people that are grown.
Yeah.
Most of the times we'll run to our peers just be like, tie.
Yeah.
Chibareko. Tie. And the other side also will find another person who will say, he's useless.
Yes.
We knew it. We didn't think he was a cool person.
Yes,
But
yes.
They were not there when you agreed
When
to
you
be
were
together.
yes,
But
yes.
because they want to make you happy, not knowing they're injuring you some more.
Ah, man.
So do not be alone. Find somebody that you trust, that you both trusted,
Right.
who you could run to and have a conversation with and talk about yourselves. So you just say, look, this is happening. I don't know how to handle it. I can't deal with my thoughts right now. This is the plan. I have this going on in my head. How can you help me with this thing? And that person, I keep emphasizing on mature enough to sit back and not show favoritism to whoever just because maybe, I liked your woman, I think she was better than you. No, that will not work. But look at the two of you and say, okay, I feel this is where both of you are taking it wrong. Like it must be, I'm looking at both of you. You like red. She likes white. So you need to find a way to say, okay, shed a bit of this here.
Yes,
So
yes.
we strike that,
Right, balance.
We compromise and sacrifice on a few things, but let's meet. Because remember, when you start seeing somebody, you're going with your 100%.
Right.
That person's coming with 100%.
Right.
And the two will not make 200.
Yes.
You have to give up a 50.
Figure out your way, 50.
Give up a 50. She gives up a 50. You make your 100.
Words. Love
So
it.
then in that process,
Yeah.
you've let go of some of the things that you really like because your partner is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Remember, you're going into her space. She's coming into your space.
Yeah.
So if one would sit down and say, where did I go off? Maybe I put so much of me. I didn't allow her space. Or maybe she put so much of her and didn't allow me. In the process, that felt squeezed.
True.
So the only way I would vent out now is just lash out or maybe throw tantrums because I don't know what's going on. But no, I feel she's really taken over a lot of things. So if most people would have such thoughts and reflect on that and find a mature person to really talk, then you see that, oh, I see, I made a mistake there. She made a mistake there. And you find that even after things have happened and the worst happened, you can still be friends because you understand, hey, we had a good run, but it's unfortunate things couldn't happen. But I'm still extending my hand. Especially if there's little ones. If there are no little ones, you still avoid that hostility. Say, hey, Obviously, it's different when there's been violence. There's been all these crazy things for people to still maintain a friendship. That's impossible. People don't really. But then if there's little people and little people are still looking up to their parents to, to help them out with life and stuff, you still have to find a way to navigate through whatever challenge that happened. Booze will kill you.
Yeah.
It's a temper situation. True. Give wine to one who's perishing.
Yes.
So if you have that hanging there, you know that this won't be the answer because I'll get high. And the moment I sober up, that thing is back in my face. And the more you take in whatever stuff, your body is also being destroyed. And now you start function. So you need to choose. I choose to be okay and to rise from this thing. If you do not choose, you will die. You need to make the choice. Nobody can make the choice for you.
Right.
If you are an addict today and I say, this thing will happen, A, B, C, D, you'll be like, But if you don't choose to say, I want to stop this and make better for myself and for my children and for my family, because remember, whatever decision that you get to make, it's not just you. Whoever is attached to you will suffer. Just like people who get to kill themselves. It's not you. You end your life there, but then there's a chain. Whoever you left, they get to suffer. It's the same thing. So yes, your marriage has gone sour. Things have happened. People will point fingers. People will do whatever. You just need to learn to. I think from childhood, people would always do this where they want to mock you, but you just be like, it's okay. You ignore them. You ignore them.
Man.
Try to find that space where you can block all that negative and just say, I want to do better for myself. If you're not there to tell me something positive, rather you stay out. Tell me something negative in a positive way where I realize what I've done wrong and help me build. If you're just there to just shoot, then you shouldn't have my time. I shouldn't listen to you because then you're just killing me. So don't entertain murderers. Entertain people that will give you life. So I think a younger me would have sat down and like, okay, where did I go off? Where did she go off? Before we decided to do certain things, maybe we should have, looked at options and stuff, but then things still happen. And
we are where we are. Man,
we are where we are.
Man, and I think that, like you're saying, a wiser me would have made a better decision. But we have to do a part 2 because we are out of time. So we can I just want us to close off now just so the guys can charge whatever it is that they need to charge and all that different stuff. And we need
Is it the last words part for the day?
No. So this is so we end it here today, but we have to do a part 2. Because this is so I underestimated how heavy this topic is. There is so much to say. So I think let's break off. For those of you watching, thank you. There is going to be a part 2, and we continue.
Yes, one more thing.
Sure. Okay.
I have a lot of words.
No. I want you to say in the middle part 2. As in right now, we are going to go back but you might forget it.
Yeah.
No, but please
No,
don't forget it.
it's all good.
Please don't forget it. You can say it? Okay, please say it. Okay.
Another thing, just a word of advice. Not what happened to me, but I've seen it happen where people come out of such situations. They have divorced and they think, if I jump into another relationship, I'll be okay. Do not date one who's just come out of that type of arrangement, because they're still injured, they're still healing, they still have a lot of things to deal with.
Yes.
Because now you're going to take that door
That is
and now you have to handle that baby.
I knew I didn't want you to speak again. Yeah, because that's another heavy. Oh, no.
Hey, you forget you. Now you start dealing with the injury that
injury of
person
that
has come
person,
with.
yeah.
So even you who's come out of there, do not pull somebody in when you're not completely healed from whatever trauma you've come with. You need to be in a happy place so that you can give yourself fully to the next person and just,
Fully.
just be nice.
Man, those are some powerful words. I mean,
too deep.
oh yeah. So please, let's do part 2. Right after this. All right, see you soon for part 2.
You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday. You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You have to tell the truth like it's Tuesday.